So here in this video, we're going to be going over two different articles. This one says AMC stock price is ranging. A comeback is possible, but risks remain. And then this one says AMC Entertainment secondary was a day late and $2 billion short. They actually think this whole saga will come to an end by Q2 of 2024. They actually, what it sounds like, are saying you could see a possible short squeeze by then. So we're going to get into these two articles. We're going to go over everything you need to know on AMC stock here today, as well as the broader markets. Let's not waste your time. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first things first, let's start with this article. It says AMC stock price is ranging. A comeback is possible, but risks remain. It says AMC Entertainment stock price has gone sideways in the past 2 months as investors assess the health of the company. The shares were trading at $7 this week, where it has been since September. It has plunged by 90% in the past 12 months and 80% in 2023 alone. It says AMC has been a value destroyer, and that is for sure. The stock is down 98% from the highest point during the COVID-19 pandemic. The company has diluted its investors. Total shares have surged to over 198 million, according to TradingView. There were only 58 million outstanding shares in 2022. This is on a split adjusted basis. So yeah, AMC, Adam Aron have to stop diluting shareholders. This is really a call to Adam Aron to wake the hell up and stop diluting shareholders. You want your company to succeed. Stop beating down the ones that have put their money with you, that have invested alongside of the business. God, this is like common sense 101. There's going to be a lot of money flowing back into markets. Just wait. Geez, don't open up your pocketbook right now. Wait for your checking account, and instead of buying your whole Christmas list the day before Black Friday, wait a day, wait a month, wait 3 months, Adam Aron, wait 6 months. Give me a break, man. I feel like I would do much better running AMC than Adam Aron. Actually, I know that for a fact. Like, come on. Ridiculous. That's what they need to stop doing. If we want to see the MOS, if we want to see any kind of substantial rally from here, they have to stop the dilution. Now, this says the most recent results show that AMC Entertainment revenues jumped sharply because of the Barbie and Oppenheimer movies. This revenue jumped by 41% to 1.41 billion, higher than the expected 1.5 billion. Revenues rose even as the number of visitors dropped during the quarter. The company compensated by hiking prices by about 30%. Total Patreons during the quarter were over 73.6 million people. AMC Entertainment faces challenges ahead. The biggest one is that the hype of Barbie and Oppenheimer has now died and cinema attendance has plateaued. This means the company's revenues will be much lower than in Q3. Analysts believe that its revenue will be $1 billion this quarter, while its EPS will be a loss of 39 cents. Says, is AMC stock a good stock to buy? It says, turning to the weekly chart, we see that the AMC share price has been in a steep sell-off in the past few months. As a result, it has remained below the 50-day and 100-day moving average, signaling that bears are still in control. A closer look shows that AMC stock has formed a falling wedge pattern since which this is one of the most bullish signs. Volume has been above average since September. Therefore, while the fundamental situation looks bad, a bullish breakout cannot be ruled out. If this happens, the stock will likely bounce back to about $10 per share. The alternative scenario is where the shares continue falling and becomes a penny stock. And that's what I've said before. I think buying at these prices makes a lot of sense. I think you see a breakout from here, right, to the upside. If we do not, then you turn into a penny stock. You could fall to $5 per share pretty easily, in my personal opinion, if you do not catch that bounce from here. Now, this article says AMC Entertainment secondary was a day late and $2 billion short. It says Q3 2023 was a strong quarter for AMC, but cash flow remains negative. Stock count is up over 1,200% in the last 5 years, and we call that a good start. 2024 and 2025 debt maturities look like a breeze, but the wall will be hit in 2026. And that's basically saying AMC can handle their debt maturities over the next 2 years. But 3 years down the line, 2026 is where you have a little bit of that problem. Now, we actually talked about this maybe a month or so ago, where investors were actually buying some of the 2026 debt and selling some of the 2029 debt for AMC. Bond market, basically a fancy way of saying people are getting a little bit more bullish fundamentally on AMC stock. So that has been good recently. But let's go ahead and dive into this a little bit more. It says, since they have published their publication on AMC stock, it's down 97.52% from the date of issuing a sell rating. And technically, you have gotten a 102.21% return. That is by amount, which AMC has underperformed the S&P 500. On our last coverage, we gave a definitive timeline for when this long-running saga would finally end. We think this saga will end by Q2 2024 now. This does not change the rating on the common shares, which we remain at a strong sell to account for a potential corporate bankruptcy or theoretical issuance of infinite shares. We encourage management to continue to hit the bid on this bounce with the same urgency and aim for option number 2. Are they saying that we could possibly see a short squeeze by Q2? That's kind of what that sounds like to me. Now it says Q3 2023 was an outstanding quarter by AMC standards. Mega hits like Barbie and Oppenheimer powered the top line, and revenues jumped by 45% over 2022 levels. Bulls have often found this solace in the quarter-by-quarter analysis based on top line changes, and this was perhaps the best that they've seen. Unfortunately, AMC remains one of the most highly volatile cost structures we can find. What this means is that the expenses tend to rise almost as fast. Film exhibition costs, for an example, moved up by 51.4%. Food and beverage costs move up by about 54%. Why are the costs going up so much? That's just insane. Seriously, like, I could do so much better as CEO. Honestly, y'all should just vote me to be the CEO, because we would turn this ship around, and we would turn it around aggressively. Now, throughout the rest of this article, they go on to say basically how AMC is never going to be able to pay off their debt, and that's, you know, pretty true for the most part. If there's not a turnaround here, the longer term story looks pretty dire for AMC. They really have to get free cash flows in a good place and start to stack some cash and refinance some of these near-term notes and really extend some of those maturities. So that's why rates coming down and this great shift of capital, where money flowing back into small and mid-cap stocks, could help AMC out a lot. Or even if AMC just waited until the stock was like $20 or $30 per share to dilute shareholders, then you would get a lot more bang for your buck. Right now, they're just scraping along trying to get pennies out of shareholders, and that's just ridiculous from my point of view. That is not the way to be playing this chess game as of right now. Now, what's going on today? We talked about this in the last video, but holiday sales for Thanksgiving, for Black Friday online, are showing a nice year-over-year gain of about 5.5%. Total spending is expected to be 3 to 4% higher year over year for the month of November and December. This is, you know, causing Wall Street to be a little bit excited here heading into this holiday weekend. And today, bonds are pretty much closed, but futures did trade for a while today, and you're up about 6 basis points. The NASDAQ is slightly in the green or slightly in the red, down 0.16%. Your Russell 2000 is up 0.62%. So you are seeing a great shift of capital, or what I've dubbed the great shift of capital, that is continuing to happen today, where investors, they're not piling their money into, you know, just any old stock, your big tech stocks. No, money's flowing into stocks that are interest rate sensitive. Look at a Tesla outperforming today. Look at your small and mid cap stocks really outperforming today. It's very, very clear in that regard. And just like that, stocks have closed for trading. Markets really ripping higher into the end of the trading day today. You could see across the board, the triple Qs the last couple of minutes here really did make that move higher. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at AMC stock and how AMC stock did close. Looks like you were down about 11 cents, about 1.57%. Up here a little bit in after hours, up 2 cents in after hours, up about 1/3 of 1%. Just getting back to $6.90 per share. So you did not see that close above $7 per share. if you're just hovering under 7, I don't think that's a huge deal. I think that's okay. I think we can manage to kind of break out above 7. But it's not the best sign, but again, it's not the worst sign as well. Again, if AMC stock does not get above 7, if the next coming trading days are negative and we continue to fall, then I think you're probably going to about $5 per share. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm obviously not a fortune teller. Anything can happen here. If you're looking at the RSI is pretty oversold at 32.90. So definitely probably due for a bounce just based on what the RSI is saying. We did have a nice thrust in upward momentum here. That was yesterday. That was that 5% gain. The RSI went from 29 to about 33 or 34. So that was a good sign, but today it's just not seeing that follow through. The MACD also looks pretty muted, kind of negative, but still holding up just a little bit. NVIDIA down another 1.5% today. Take a look at TLT. TLT was down about 1.18%, so longer term yields rising. We talked about that in the last video. 10-year treasury yields were up about 6.5 basis points today. Oil down another 1%. That is overall a good sign for inflation. Not exactly a great sign for the economy, though. If you're looking at the dollar as well, the dollar is down about 1/3 of 1% today. That's good for your multinationals. That's great, and that does show probably looser Fed policy to come. Gold was up about 0.5%. Gold has been one of the weird ones as of lately, considering the war in the Middle East. That's kind of when gold started to do well, and you're on an upside trajectory here with gold, which really makes you wonder if there's a bigger problem under the surface, just based on how gold is simply trading here. Now, we're going to give you a quick rundown of the Ortex data as well. Go ahead and wrap up this video. Keep in mind, take this with a big grain of salt. I don't think these numbers are accurate at all, but you do have a short interest of free flow at 9.14%, $126.38 million worth of short positions. Days cover 0.75. 18.08 million shares that are currently sold short. Shares out alone 13.71 million. Cost to borrow 1.27%, utilization 31.36%, and a short score of 54.44 out of 100. Cost to borrow max 7.26%, cost to borrow minimum about 1%, cost to borrow average about 6.05%. So nothing spectacular, nothing really changed today. Option activity, we're not getting any updates, but what we are seeing today is actually no institutional hedge fund trades. Volume 64.24% to the call side, 35.76% volume to the put side. So still almost a 2-to-1 ratio for the calls compared to puts. So pretty strong day overall if you're looking at, you know, the broader picture of option activity with AMC. There's still a lot of people that look to this stock, that want to see the stock do well, that continue to make bullish trades on this stock. Now you are at 66.34% of stocks above their 50-day moving average. Back in July, you were at about 77%. So I do think it's clear this great shift of capital definitely was happening today. You've seen a lot of money go into small mid-cap stocks, interest rate sensitive companies, but I think there is a long-term kind of outlook here. I think over the next coming months, you're going to see more money flowing into these areas, and that should start to help AMC, maybe not on a small day like today, but over the course of the next couple of months without any other dilution or bad news for AMC. I think AMC does trend higher based on that simple fact alone. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.